All right. The United States of America, and the Old English signifies the Republic, the de jure side. The Great Seal 13, the Great Seal's 13 stars are we the people. Banking and property protection for the Constitution, again in Old English, signifying the de jure Constitution for the United States of America, not of the United States of America. For the United States of America, which means with the United States of America, is a governmental banking protection contract with the people. In the present USA governmental banking system, you are the creditor, all right? And that actually should be the United States. You are the creditor within the corporation or outside the corporation. You are the creditor and secured party. It's not secured party creditor, it's creditor and secured party. Okay, there are two different aspects to this, and everybody's always running around on the internet going, I'm a secured party creditor, as though it's all run together, and it's not. There are 2 points, or 2 aspects of it. One is the secured party, and the other side of that coin is because you're the secured party, you are the creditor. Therefore, you have to register your property and banking claims using self-initiated and filed non-UCC ones under the 13-digit registered mail number to be held in your private records. You're going to use the United States Postal Service, ladies and gentlemen, to create your record. Let me ask you this. You ever heard of the United States Postal Service being sued? You ever heard any of the employees or any action ever taken against the United States Postal Service or any United States postal agent? Most often never happens unless they're involved in nefarious acts. And the reason nobody ever sues the United States Postal Service, quite simply, they're the baddest cats on the planet. Right below your authority sits the de jure government in the Republic through the United States Postal Service, which got its origins from the United States Post Office, which is what Benjamin Franklin created, okay, where he went and borrowed money from another country, a couple other countries, created the de jure government, the Republic, and he created it and lodged it with the United States Post Office. The United States Post Office got its origins from the General Post, okay? General Post Office, because at that point it had 4 walls around the post that was located in the center of town. Before it was the General Post Office, it was just known as the General Post. It was a post generally in the middle of town where people put their letters that they looked to have couriers run from one destination to another. And that was created by Jesus Christ, who needed to get a message from one end of town to the other end of town without using Caesar's men, okay? It was all biblical. You can then present your registered self-certified non-UCC1 copy to any foreign claim jumpers to defeat them, because you're on the private side. You operate outside of them. You're not a heathen. Okay, heathen means without God. You're not a heathen. You're not a Neanderthal. You're a man conducting himself on the private side who knows how to handle one's own affairs above all men. Okay? And so the non-UCC does not get filed with the Secretary of State. They'll reject it every time. Why? Because it's private. And they don't keep track of your private records. They have no business on the private side. Okay? They only deal with the estate, period. The estate was created to benefit you after 1933. After the Banking Act of 1913 that was signed by Woodrow Wilson and then enforced in 1933 with the theft of the gold and silver in the economy by, what the heck is his name? I can't even think. I got so much information crammed in my head these days. The 13 stars stand for when a man comes to age of majority and to an ascension of the mind. He also attains a 13-digit Foreign International Organization exemption number, okay? from Pennsylvania. It's a Foreign Grantor Trust, EIN. Okay, the only place you can get this trust that has any validity, this trust number, is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Treasury Department. All right. Example will be PA 123456789 US, just like a registered mail number, right? 13 digits, whether it be letters and numbers, both, which it will be. When the Foreign Grantor Trust EIN is required for the IRS Treasury in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, okay? And it gets you to the private side so you can operate and do things correctly so you don't get thrown in jail. The two wings stand for being America on the land and Admiralty on the sea. As an international organization, an American self-governmental principality. What's that saying, ladies and gentlemen? You are self-governing, okay? And that's what the wings are. The symbolism of. The one head stands for the one lawful treasury of this nation. The lawful treasury, ladies and gentlemen, because of the banking crisis, you are a private banker. Okay, and you are the one that holds all the value. You can create all kinds of negotiable instruments. Make sure to do your studies before you create them, and make sure that you know how to rectify a mistake should allegations be brought against you for fraud or securities fraud or any of that. You should know how one should conduct themselves in order to stay out of jail, and make sure that the mistake that was created is corrected. If you go in there arguing with them, you've already lost. If they pointed something out to you, it's because it wasn't done properly. Simply state for the record, I have made a mistake. Can you please point out the mistake in my ways so I can correct it? All right? There's always forgiveness. We must always forgive those who trespass against us, for they know not what they do, right? And if you're not giving notice and opportunity, you can't go around suing these people. You don't have any standing to sue these people. You didn't put them on notice of who you are, where you're at mentally in the world, how much power you really have. It's all exhibited by your actions. Remember, actions can create a trust. A trust can be created just solely on the principles of actions. The 13 stripes in the flag means that the government is to protect and defend the people when it is flown. Shield of protection. Agent and agency, public servant under oath of office in good faith. You must understand the laws of this land, the laws of the Most High, in order to hold these people accountable for what they're doing. And why they're getting away with the things they're getting away with now is because we, as men and women, do not fully understand how powerful we are. These people can be hung for the treasonous acts they commit against us every day. But are you accepting their oath of office? Are you accepting the contract? Because just because they took an oath of office doesn't mean you fall under the protection of it unless you've accepted their oath of office. The other thing is, a lot of these agents and agencies are taking an oath of office, but they're not doing an acknowledgement and acceptance of it, ladies and gentlemen, which means they're not operating underneath that oath of office. Although they took it, and it sounds real good, but if they didn't do an acknowledgement and acceptance of their oath of office, then they're an imposter in office. They're taking their income under false pretenses, and they can be tried for that. Very interesting. They also have to be independently and privately bonded. A blanket bond does not suffice for filling the office that they're alleged to occupy at this moment in time. The 13 leaf right leg stands for the individual USA post banking office of a man. Example, your USA post office exemption number in the postal system would be, he's using Iowa, IA 52591 -8236 US period. And so the plant in the clutches of the right leg, the hidden manta, the private banker, is showing you showing you what's up through symbolism, because this is a sigil which holds magical powers in their system. The sigil is for protection. It's your shield, your right to bear arms. There's your arms, your shield. The 9 tail feathers are below the eagle, therefore they stand for the debtor, bankrupt, 9-digit account. What is that account number that we're referencing here? Ladies and gentlemen, that's your estate account number, which is your social security number, or rather not yours, but the estate's account number, which is identified as a social security number, which has the full all capital block letter name of the estate on it, just verifying and proving that it's an account for the estate that was set up shortly after you were born on your place of nativity. In the state registrar, a bill of lading was created, and that created your estate and was probated by the state registrar. And the facts and evidence of that we rely upon is that you can go down to Vital Records and get a certified copy. Okay? So this all ties together. The 13 arrows, left leg, stand for USA Post Office Mail Banking Registered Mail Delivery System. That's your private side creating your record and your orders, ladies and gentlemen. The Postal Service is just right underneath us. We, the people, have all the power. Next in line that wields the biggest sword, which if you put an S in front of the word, if you take the word and put an S in front of it, you have sword. All right? And I can assure you that words cut so much better than the finest knives you can find in the world if you know how to use them. They have purpose. They have power. And with words, you can compel a lot of performance. But you have to know who you are. You have to be respectable about it. And you have to know how to create your record to hold these people accountable. It's not hard. And so, again, that's showing you the private mailing side of it, the private banking side of it, the hidden manta, the olive branch of peace. Now, you want to be at peace with these people. Just because you just figured out how the system works doesn't mean you write them nasty letters, chewing on them and gnawing on them because of the things you didn't know that you feel they were responsible for teaching you. That's not the case. So remember, we always have to forgive those who trespass against us, for they know not what they do. Why do they know not what they do? Plausible deniability, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't inform them of who you are, what you know. And so the officers or the agents and agency that are trespassing against you, you can't rightfully sue them. You don't have any grounds for suing them because you didn't put anybody on notice. That's the power you have. The power to contract, the unlimited power to contract, and to quash any contract that you have entered into that wasn't provided full disclosure. You don't have a right to go sue them for it. You entered into it out of your own ignorance. You didn't do your research, and somehow you want to deny your responsibilities and fix the liabilities to agents and agency because you failed to read. It's not their job to hold your hand and walk you through this. So we must forgive the ones that trespass against us, for they know not what they do, because we failed to provide notice and opportunity. Yes, this goes into the UCC1. Yes, you need to learn how to register things. You need to have a mail firm book. You need to learn how to operate in trust. If you don't know what a trustee is, a beneficiary, an executive, if you don't know that you can switch hats at any time, you need to ascend of the mind before you start executing stuff like this, because you will get turned down. You will get turned down. They're going to test you. Remember, the path is narrow. It's narrow. You just can't throw a bunch of crap at the wall, expect it to stick, and walk through this. This is not how it works. It comes with great responsibility to your fellow man, your neighbor. So, anyway, that's all I got to capitalize on at this moment in time, but I thought I would do my best to share that with you. This came from the late Patrick Devine, and then I revised it quite a bit. Patrick Devine did have access to a lot of things that most people will never be able to accomplish in their life because they don't have the eyes to see nor the ears to hear. So keep in the books, keep studying, keep researching, and the truth will set you free, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely will set you free. Thanks for joining me.